during the pandemic, a good friend of mine renamed it the plandemic, right? Just a play on words. His way of saying that it caused a lot of us to go into planning mode. But either way, during the pandemic, did a lot of live streamings, did a lot of guesting, a lot of showing up on other people's platforms as well to talk about the impacts and the awesome opportunity that is online video, specifically live. And it was a great experience. Quickly began to grow an audience on my channel, a very core, committed audience. Some of you are part of that audience. And one of the phrases that we began to throw around regularly, I can remember it like it was yesterday, that my desk was set up right here, was a white desk. I was more shooting towards that corner behind me as my backdrop. Didn't have a lot in the room at all at the time. So just one little bookcase, and had some lights on the floor behind me that were shining up, some of that vibranium purple. And we're talking about live streaming. We're talking about content creation. We're talking about faith. We're talking about tech tools and media and different things like that. And I said to the audience right there that live streaming is like a little glimpse of omnipresence. And so that's the shirt I have on today, right? Live streaming is a glimpse of omnipresence. And I just said it in a sentence because I was explaining to people, you know, God can be everywhere at any time. And with live streaming, with live content, specifically live, like what I'm doing right now, there can be somebody watching in Brazil, somebody watching in Tokyo, somebody watching in California, somebody watching in New York, somebody watching in Alabama, somebody watching in Great Britain, right? Somebody can be watching literally anywhere all over the world, but we're all seeing and experiencing the same thing. Whether you are a believer in the Most High or not, I guess agreed upon premise, for those of us who are believers, we believe that God can be everywhere at any time. He is omnipresent. We as human beings don't have the ability to be omnipresent, so we have to show up, or allow our content to show up in ways that allows us to be in multiple places and multiple conversations, especially if we're going to grow and engage an audience, especially if we're going to funnel clients to our business, especially if we're going to establish ourselves as an authority figure in a space. Another good friend and a coach shared with me that every time you post a video, it's like turning on a robot that will continue doing the assigned task you gave it for the rest of time, not just for the rest of your life, but for the rest of time. That video will continue doing the assigned task you gave it for the rest of time. And the only thing better than online video, a video that is produced with a particular target audience and value proposition in mind, that has been curated masterfully to answer the question that it poses in its intro. That video is great, but live video gives you the ability to be in all those places at the same time. There's 10 or so people that are watching live right now with us here on YouTube. I am not streaming to multiple platforms, just YouTube today. And these people are in multiple different cities. In fact, I'm going to ask you right now to just go ahead and drop what city you are watching from. What city are you watching from? Which city are you in where you're watching right now? Some of you may be traveling, and so you're watching from a different city, but wherever you are right now, what city you're in right now, go ahead and put that city in the chat, because it's just an example. It is a touch point for people to realize the awesome and ridiculous, crazy power of video, specifically live video. It's a gift. It's a gift that we want to be able to leverage naturally. We want to be able to leverage it in a way that makes sense to us. We want to be able to leverage it in a way that is a part of our native tongue, our common vernacular. We want to leverage it in a way that doesn't feel too heavy. I want to leverage it in a way that allows people to attain the benefits without changing careers. Tracy is watching from Worcester, England. Canva plus AI Tools is watching from LA. Equip Institute with Florence. This is Florence Donald. She's watching from the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Living Water Quilter is watching from Virginia. Darius O'Kane is watching from Mobile, Alabama. Doc Bishara is watching from Brooklyn, New York. And these are just a few. These are just a few that have chimed in the chat, literally all over the world. And we're all watching the same thing at the same time. Ibrahim Lucas is watching from Curacao. The same thing at the same time, because live streaming, live video is a glimpse of omnipresence. And there is nothing else like it on the planet that will get your message out to the world, that will share your secret sauce with the audience that you hope to serve, that will put on display your genius than video, live video, online video, produced video, but video. One of the things that we're going to be touching on in the series starting in August for the new podcast or relaunch of my podcast, How It All Works, we're going to be looking at some of the motives behind why people create content. We're going to be looking at so many different things. And I know there's going to be a treasure trove of content. We've already begun recording. That's why some of this stuff is fresh on my mind. But I wanted to give you some context behind the shirt I'm wearing. Of course, it is available over on merch.kirkrnugent.com, merch.kirkrnugent.com. But I wanted to give you some context behind it. These were not sayings that I just came up with myself and thought this was pretty cool. These were sayings that the community and I came to recognize and share with one another on a regular basis. And it made its way over to being a shirt. More than the shirt, more than the statement, I do want to ensure that we don't miss the opportunity. And the opportunity is simply, what are you waiting on? What holds you back from taking the leap? Why are you still in thinking phase to post the video? Is it that the process to get to done is too complicated? Well, let me help you, because that's all I do. Prior to going live today, I recorded a podcast episode with my wife and I and a guest that came into this very space. And the interview was 24 minutes. When we hit the finish button on that interview, the interview was ready to be posted. When we finished, and I want to be clear, it wasn't that there was a whole bunch of prep work that needed to go in. Four different scenes that we created in Ecamm, lined them up, did our intro. We have this 7-second thing that we do for our logo. Come back to us. We're recording on multiple different cameras. Those camera angles will be used and switched in post, but that video is done. What's holding you back from doing what you have in your mind to do? What's holding you back from plugging into this environment that is going to enable you the opportunity to speak to and have impact on people across the street and across the globe? There's gotta be a reason you subscribe to this channel for something. Maybe you wanted some technical help and you've gotten that, but you decided to stay around. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because like we've got some of the best moderators in the world. Maybe it's because you just like how excited I get when I talk about something new. But whatever it is, I'm challenging you today. Put it in the chat. So many times we go to the coaching corner. I did a review with my content coach of several coaching corners, and he was telling me that, the coaching corner is absolute gold. Like this, you need to develop this. You need to continue with the consistency. You're doing a phenomenal job. But why is it you're not getting more questions? Why is it that people wait till the very end of the show in order to put the question that they want answered? Front load the opportunity. And so I'm taking his advice today. I'm going to kick the tires a little bit. If you have a question, I've got a whole agenda of things I want to share today during the coaching corner. There is an exponential opportunity in front of you with content. An opportunity that has changed my entire life, and I know it will do the same for you. What's holding you back? Share with us in the comments. It could be a limiting belief. It could be the technology. It could be the process to get a video done. Maybe it's what platform to use. I just don't have a process. I want to know today, like I am significantly asking you to share. What's holding you back? What's keeping you from asking the question, getting the answer, moving on to the next step? Leveraging what it is that you have been purposed to do, have been called to do, have been designed to do. We want to get you unstuck today. We want to see you move on to the next thing. And that's what our agenda is for today. So with that said, let's dive in. Where am I in terms of my stuff here? Okay, perfect. I do want to go into our regular coaching session, but I also want to start with a word of prayer. Father, thank you so much for your love, your grace, your mercy, and for every person that is on the live right now, those who will watch on replay. I pray that your special blessing would fall on each and every one of them, and that you'd be with our conversation today. We pray in your precious name. Amen. I am so excited to be here with you today. I look forward to this time every single week. If you can't tell, I live for this thing. Like people ask me I can't tell you how many projects I turn down on Wednesdays. I'm like, no, not Wednesdays. It's to the point now where people will simply say to me, I know Wednesday's not good. Is there another day of the week that we can do some stuff? I don't touch anything on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is my day where I have a lot of my coaching calls for coaching clients. I do a number of client projects, whether it be hosting or producing their podcast. And then I do this show right here in the middle. And I love it. It's called The Coaching Corner for those of you who might be coming in new. Maybe you're watching this on replay. And it's in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, right here at noon in the central time zone, which I affectionately call the Lord's time zone. And I'm super excited that you're with us today. Super excited that you're with us today. The Coaching Corner is a space that's been designed for anyone who's in the trenches, working, getting it done, and just need a little break. You need a little break. You need a respite, time to pull aside for a second and just, understand, just have somebody pour in. take a look at what you're doing and give you a fresh perspective. That's what happens in the coaching corner when the referee rings the bell and sends you and your opponent back to your spaces. And they start working on your arm. They tape up that cut over above your eye, and the coach begins to whisper in your ear. Yeah, this is another strategy. Watch out for this. Make sure you do this. The entire time that you're in the corner, it is dedicated to the concept, the idea, the fact that you want to win. You want to win. I see. Florence says that I need a break. This thing is entirely set up for you to take that break, for you to be poured into, for us to chat realistically and honestly for a little bit, for us to course correct sometimes, for us to really hone in on what our next steps will be. But also to take the break. Let's see what we got in terms of comments. We got a lot of you guys hanging out with us today. I see several of you were responding to my question, where are you watching from, in the lead in. I love to see some of these comments coming through here. I love this. It's always so cool to see this. A little bit of shade is always appropriate, Florence. You are absolutely correct. I am working on that thing. I don't know why it took so long to get the mugs. The mugs were the hardest ones to get done. Nayland Samuels joining from Houston, Texas. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I see several others coming in as well. Super excited that you're here with us. And I have a couple of comments. David Hunt is with us. What up? I see several of you saying amen and amen. Excited for that as well. I see a couple of comments. I see a number of questions. And many of you have followed the correct format in terms of actually putting a Q colon in front of your questions. And I'm excited about that. Marina is with us. It's always good to have you come through. I know that I know what time zone you're in, and it is quite literally the middle of the night for you, but I'm always excited whenever I get a chance to see you come through. All right, let me see if I can grab one or two of these comments. Okay, so I think, yep, we got this one. This is from Pigtown Sports. He says, which Mac do you use, MacBook or a Studio? I use a Mac Mini. I'm using a Mac Mini. Let me see if I can showcase this. There we go. I'm using a Mac Mini. And if you come over here to my page, kirkarnugent.live/gear, kirkarnugent.live/gear is going to take you to this page. And if you go to this page, take a look at the aux studio build, the one that I've got highlighted on the screen right now. If you click on that one, you're going to see a number of things that I recommended for this particular client. But one of the things that's there is this guy right here, the 2024 Mac Mini desktop. This is an M4. This is an M4 chip, 10 core CPU, 10 core GPU, 16 gig of memory, 1 terabyte SSD. This is the guy that I have. And then I also added to it this little mini Sopuru. I don't know how to say that. It's a little dock that also has this drive inside it. So you got the dock and you got the drive. These are the two things that I am using at my desk right now. So that's what I use. Thank you for the question, Pigtown Sports. Always good to have you come through. Canva plus AI tools is with us, says, because you're encouraging. I so love that. That wasn't a question. I don't know how I got that one. But Mini Scenes GB, Tracy says, right now, attacks from other YouTubers. I've lost days of work and I'm struggling badly with stress. Oh my. I thank you, first of all, for having the boldness to share that publicly with everyone. I know that we've had a couple of private sessions and you're a member of our community in the Workers Warehouse. And I just thank you for your willingness to be able to share that with everybody today. And I hope that you can stick around for the win session, which will happen right after our coaching corner is done today. Once our coaching corner is done today, we'll have our win session in the warehouse, and I hope that you can stay around so we can kind of chat through some of those pieces as well. Sometimes if I can just be honest, y'all, sometimes in these creator streets, it can be dog eat dog. It can be vicious. It can get crazy. And we have to hold space. Again, this is where the coaching corner is critical. We have to be able to hold space for you to experience all the different things that are happening, all the different things that are happening in your experience, in your life, in, all the things that you go through that make up your time. I see several of you coming through in the chat. I just went back over to the general chat just to take a peek to see what's going on. Long time no see. Absolutely average. Hope you're well, Kirk. I am definitely doing well, and I thank you so much for being here. SBD Podcast is here. There he is, hands down the best production on YouTube. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Truly appreciate it. David Hunt put in the chat my link, kirkarnugent.live/gear. So I hope that you guys can definitely go ahead and check that out. Thank you, David. And again, Pigtown Sports, our absolute pleasure to be able to share that answer with you. Thank you so much. Now we do have 2 more questions, and listen, this is how I like it. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. Let's get back to our comment section, and let's get the question up here in the right way. I just received the Rodecaster Pro 2 from a barter. Come on, I know we talked about this. What are the different ways that you have been using it? Excellent question. And this is what he's referring to. This is the Rodecaster Pro 2, and he got it from a barter, which is pretty dope. So Rodecaster Pro 2, the way that I'm using it, number one, is I'm using it to record my audio. I put a SD card in it because it does take a micro SD card. So I put an SD card in it, and I am using it to record my audio. Second thing that I did, actually had a audio engineer come to the house and actually go into the guts of the Rodecaster Pro 2 and tweak the audio for each of the mics that I have plugged into it. I have 4 mics plugged into it at this moment. And while he did that, I actually looked over his shoulder. I took copious notes, and I have actually done that same process for several other people going forward, because I wanted to make sure I knew how to do what he was doing, and I wanted to make sure I was getting it right. A lot of the stuff that he did is stuff that I would have done, but just wasn't sure if I was just kind of tweaking it to the way I like to hear, as opposed to actually having something confirmed from an actual expert. So I brought in an expert and I had them do that. You could do a version of that, but I do think that a lot of people want this thing to be plug and play. You have a $700 investment in your hands. Definitely plug it up, go through the scenes, dial in the sound, the de-esser, the audio effects, the big bottom, oral exciter. All of those are pieces and features and sound effects that you can utilize on the platform, and you want to make sure you are dialing that stuff in, because what it does for you is it allows you to basically edit the audio before you have to actually drop it into some kind of an editor. So that's really dope as well. Another thing that's really cool, and I forgot exactly which platform you're using, Doc Bashara. I think you're using EV Mux, but I don't think it's Ecamm either way. Another way that I'm using it, of course, is to just record audio podcasts directly to it. So you put in your SD card, you get everybody a mic. It doesn't matter what it looks like because it's not video, and you just hit the record button on the device itself. And when you're done with that, you can take it away. Another thing that I've seen done, I've actually set this up for a client for an audio podcast. We actually loaded the intro and outro for their podcast, which is a voiceover with music and sound effects. So we loaded that onto the pads of the Rodecaster Pro, and then we loaded a ton of sound effects. And again, sound effects is something that we have available in the warehouse, or as a resource subscription. If you purchase our resource subscription on my website, kirkarnugent.com, you can definitely go that route as well. So we loaded the sound effects, we loaded the intro and outro. And so when they are done with the recording of the podcast, they're actually uploading that file straight. It's already edited. This is what I meant earlier when I said, what has you stuck? Let's figure out the cheat code that's going to allow you to get to done sooner. Let's figure out how you can leverage video naturally, leverage content naturally, leverage, listen, the social media naturally. You want to be able to do that in a way that feels a lot, it doesn't have that huge bar for entry staring you down. And so this device is one of those things. When I lined out to a particular client who was balking at the price, when I lined out to them the different things that this thing does and allows them to get done without having to take it and do it anywhere else, they were like, oh my God, I'm wasting so much time that I could just invest in this product. And away I go. Sorry about that. The other thing that I've seen done, or I have done with this device, is pair the Rode Wireless Go microphones to it. So that's another thing that's really cool. If you are if you play instruments as well, you can definitely run that audio into this device as well. So recording, sound effects, dialing in your audio, using it for large scale broadcasts. I do a show with my wife. It's myself, of course, the two of us. We usually have a guest. Sometimes we have two guests, 4 microphones, all going into the Rodecaster Pro 2, then going out to the stream live. See, that's the other thing that I like to do. That's why my workflow is the way that it is because I prioritize live in my head. So I can't record it as trash and then edit it in post. I've got to get it right when I'm putting it out there the first time, because many will be consuming the content while live. And so this is a device that I highly recommend. And I thank you for your question. It really does help. It really does help. No, definitely not tired. Just have a little iron imbalance. If you're new here, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you won't know what I'm talking about, but I have an iron deficiency, and that causes me to yawn, even though I'm not tired. You ask a question, why are we here? Yes. And you said because, and your answer was because we're encouraging, and I recognize that. So thank you for that, Canva plus AI tools. Yes, I see several of you are responding to Tracy in the chat as well. Thank you for that. I see Absolutely Average saying, sorry to hear you are getting stressed from the channels. Yeah, it can be tough. It can be tough. Wow. That's heavy when you have to get the actual police involved. That's heavy. Yeah. Florence says life's not plug and play. Absolutely. You're correct. Okay. We have a couple more questions that come in, that have come in. Yeah. Tablet. How tired, Kirk? Oh, sorry to hear that. I'm not new, just not been on for 6 months. No, I know you're not new. Oh yeah, I listen, I know it's you. I'm saying that to those who are new, even though you've been around for a while. I'm saying to those who are new and you've never seen me yawn on camera before, that's one of the reasons why I can't necessarily get around it. But I am excited that you guys are all here and we're all doing this together. Canva plus AI tool says, how do you plan your live schedule? And I love that. And I see that Ibrahim has a question as well. So we're going to get to your question as well, sir. Canva plus AI tool says, how do you plan your live schedule? How do you plan your live schedule? I put out a video every Sunday and I go live every Wednesday. The live on Wednesdays is this one that you're on now. That's the Coaching Corner. And in that live, my plan is to answer whatever questions come up. I want to give my audience the opportunity to watch a video and then see me live. Watch a video and then see me live. Watch a video, then see me live. And somebody's going to come to this live stream who didn't necessarily get a chance to attend live, and they're going to hear me answer some questions, maybe even the question that they had when they watched the video. And so those are some of that's the way that I have strategized my live schedule. I also do a live interview show first Fridays. So what I guess maybe I need a little bit more information. I think what I've shared is just what I do, but I think for you, Canva plus AI tools, I mean, you're also in a very similar space where you're doing edutainment, right? Education plus entertainment all around Canva and AI tools, which Canva is also a AI tool. So it's an issue of you're putting out content, showing people how to do stuff. But then there should be an experience where you're teaching the stuff that you're showing in your produced videos live. I like to say it this way: your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with your videos, with your produced videos. Your live stream continues that conversation. Somebody watches your video and then they're like, man, that's good, but what platform does, he or she use for this? And then you go live and they're like, I can ask them. I can ask them because I'm continuing the conversation that was started with my content. And so that's my rule of thumb for planning out my live schedule and my live shows, is I want to make sure first and foremost that there is a space where people can come and ask questions. I don't pretend to be perfect. My videos sometimes stir up more questions than it does answers, which is not a bad thing. But I want to be able to give people an opportunity to come and then ask those questions. And if not live, at least they know from what I've shared in this video that they can go underneath the video, comment there, and to be able to share their questions that way. Those are different ways that we are able to continue that conversation in an organic fashion. And I hope that that's helpful for you as well. Let me just go back and check in on my comments as well. You must be a master of planning. Oh man, I don't know that I am, but I am definitely OCD. That is for sure. I'm definitely OCD. Margot has a question. So she says, great question, Margot. Where is Margot's question? I don't know. I don't see it. Okay. I typed in Margot, but I don't see it. Anyway, Margot, if you have a question, please go ahead and ask that question one more time, because I don't know why it's not showing up for me here. Let me go back to my last question from Ibrahim. Thank you so much, Canva plus AI tools. I believe I'm saying it incorrectly. That's what it is. That's what it is. Anyway, I'll address that in just a second. So Ibrahim says, can I do with my DIY teleprompter with my iPad as monitor the same you do with your Elgato teleprompter with monitor? No, you would need to set up your iPad as an additional monitor in order to do what I'm doing. And that's one of the reasons why even before using the Elgato prompter, I had the Lilliput 10.1 inch A11 monitor, because it allowed me to have it as a monitor, not as just a teleprompter. I need the monitor functionality more than I need the teleprompter. It's like right now, Ibrahim, your questions are literally on the teleprompter in front of my lens. So I'm looking at your question here. I also see it in the program window here, but I'm looking at your question because this is an additional monitor. Now, I was told by a good friend that you can make your iPad into an additional monitor, but it got a little confusing, because then in order to flip the orientation of the monitor, you needed another piece of software, and sometimes they didn't work very well together. It's just, we're trying to, square peg, round hole. It doesn't fit. So the answer to your question is, I don't think so. Do you need to get an Elgato prompter? No, you can get the 10.1 inch A11 monitor. It's about the same size, and it sits inside the Glide Gear, the TMP 100. So that's what I used to have, the Glide Gear TMP 100, along with that monitor, and that's what allowed me to flip the orientation, lay it down flat, look into the mirror, see everything that you guys are talking to me about, but then also maintain eye contact with the people that are watching. So the people that are, the camera that I'm looking into the other side of. So all of those pieces kind of come together to help make that thing work out so well. But I tell you what, that's what this comment here is what, when you heard me say, I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it wrong. That's what, as soon as I brought up the question, I was like, Margot, can you type the question again? In my mind, I was like, no. Canva plus AI tools is Margot. That's what I missed. So my bad. This is my bad. And I knew that comment was coming, because as soon as I said it before I touched on Ibrahim's question, I was like, oh, I said that wrong. Yeah, Margot is Canva plus AI tools. Sorry about that. And we're so excited that you're here. But yes, the Elgato prompter has been a game changer for me. I did 3 videos the other day in quick succession, because I had already done the script, and I was able to drop all those scripts into the teleprompter and click record. And basically, I turned on the voice sync feature, and so I was able to read, ad lib, share additional points and thoughts and stories, continue to read, and it just kept on picking up. It just kept on picking up the entire time. So it literally revolutionized what I'm able to do so quickly. Because if you've already done the work of charting out your notes, even if you do bullet points like me, like, cause I only script the intro and outro, but I have all my bullet points in there as well, and that has been a game changer, like absolute game changer. Oh yeah, bullet points as well, Tracy. I just want bullet points, so not sure a prompter would help. But here's the reason why I was saying to, and I think this is why Ibrahim brought up what he brought up, is not everybody needs a teleprompter per se, but what the Elgato prompter affords you is an additional monitor that you can look directly into. So as you heard me say to him, my comments are on this monitor. My notes are on this monitor. And if I have my script, if I have my bullet points, I put it all on this monitor. And I don't even necessarily have to use like the Elgato software. This software is dope because that's where the voice sync comes in, and it allows you, like, when you read a sentence, it knows that you're on that sentence and it'll just advance it. So I don't even have to reach down to grab the mice and scroll, but I can if I want to. So it just feels very natural. And as long as your mouse is out of the shot, you can actually go down, scroll, keep talking, scroll, keep talking. I used to do that with my just notes app. I have a notes document up on my teleprompter screen at all times. So to me, it has been wildly beneficial, not strictly for the teleprompter ability, but for the ability to maintain eye contact and to see what I need to see, what I would normally be having to glance over here for. I can look directly at the teleprompter and get that information and respond. So that's been wildly beneficial for me. And I thank you for the question. All right. I see 1 or 2 other questions have come in. Absolutely Average says, Kirk, I've been out of the picture for 6 months. Do you know if Elgato Prompter now has chat for YouTube? It showed Twitch before, but not YouTube chat. I guess I don't know what you mean. There's a direct integration with Twitch, but I'm looking at your comment on the Elgato prompter right now. And your comment is on YouTube. So I'm looking at your comment on the Elgato prompter. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's chat. So, but that has nothing to do with Elgato prompter. That is actually, what's the term I'm looking for? That's just a function of Ecamm. Now let me see. So I just changed my monitor, I went to live demo mode, and I wanted you to see, this is the actual Elgato teleprompter screen. You can see some of my notes from a meeting. Here's the questions I asked in the last masterclass. You kind of get the idea. I see this as I'm looking at you. This is what I see. So you get out of live demo mode. Now you're back to seeing me and the question, but it's not so much that there's an integrated chat. I've never used the integrated chat feature because I have the chat from my stream here. And if anybody says anything, I see it in this chat. If I was streaming, like the other night, Monday night, I streamed to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, vertical. All of the chat showed up right here. Everybody's comments, anybody that said anything on any of those 3 platforms, they all showed up right here in my comments and reactions window for Ecamm. But the fact that I'm able to drag that window over to the Elgato prompter, I think that's the critical piece. That's the part that really makes it super functional for me. Okay. Thank you for the question. Yeah. Tracy, it definitely works for bullet points too. Yeah, you can use it how you want, Tracy. It's a good piece of the kit. Yes, it is. Here's a question from Doc Bashara. Is there a way to prevent the audio delay while live streaming besides plugging the audio interface into my camera? The volume has decreased since I've done this. So yes. What platform are you using? I want to say you're using EV So the thing to do is the best audio delay. I've used Audio Hijack. Now, I don't know if it sounds to me like you're on a Windows machine. So it may be that you need to utilize something like Voice Meter Banana. Yeah. What is the other software that now does audio delay? Oh man, there's another software that does it. And you can delay your audio a little bit. I can't remember the name of the software, but I'll look into it. There is software out there that specifically just does that. You can delay the audio so that it matches back up with the video. So I'll look into that. I believe I'm correct. You're using EVMux. You're on a Windows machine. On Mac, I use Audio Hijack and Loopback to be able to create a new mic in Loopback that has the output from Audio Hijack. And I take that into my different scenes and settings. I take that into StreamYard. I take that into Zoom. I take that into whatever platforms I'm using because it allows me to have that mic delay so that my video and audio are in sync. So definitely that would be something I recommend. It is definitely cool, Tracy. Canva plus AI says, Margot says, thank you. I love doing lives. I have a group of about 32,000 on Facebook. I'm switching over to YouTube, but I need to come up with a schedule in the process of setting up a new studio. 32,000 on Facebook is amazing. So kudos to you for doing that type of work. That's absolutely amazing. That transition process from Facebook to YouTube, you're doing it at the right time. There's just no better place for you to be than on YouTube with the type of content that you do. And so coming up with a schedule, first of all, clearly you know how to do this already. So you've been doing it for a while. You've done phenomenally well in growing your group on Facebook. So, and I'm assuming that in Facebook you were at least up until they blocked that feature, you were able to do lives in that group, which is phenomenal as well. Now the challenge is going to be not challenge, but the opportunity is going to be how to get them to move over to your YouTube channel. And so it's gonna be a combination of putting out content that they want and they might as well go ahead and subscribe to. And it's gotta be content that you're not posting in Facebook. That's the thing. You may tease it in your Facebook group, but not necessarily post it there so that they know if you want this content, you gotta come subscribe to my YouTube channel. Maybe what you also do is you got 32,000 on Facebook to me, that sounds like you're going to quickly shoot up. If you can get even half of those people to subscribe to your channel because of the value that you've provided, and you've developed this relationship with them, they know you have their best interests at heart. They like what you do. You're going to get a good amount of those people to come over, hopefully. And if you do, you will, blow away the requirements for some of the pro features. One of them being membership. I think you should absolutely look into doing membership as an alternative to your Facebook group membership, and then using the community feature and opening that up just for members will basically replace what they have on Facebook. So there's some strategy around that, Margot, that you can absolutely employ to as a means of gradually siphoning them off. And you can let them know, just be honest to say, hey, we're going to be making the transition off of Facebook, so I want more direct contact with you guys. I want to be able to go live when I want to. And so essentially this Facebook group is going to become membership on my YouTube channel. And we would love for all of you who are in this group to make that transfer. We've got content that's just for members, that kind of thing. That is going to help people to go over. Maybe you do some giveaways, whatever you can do to incentivize people to make that switch. Go over to your YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, join membership. Not just hit the subscribe button. I want to be clear. You want them to join membership. So that membership is going to enable you to get paid literally every month. And that is game changer. Again, Facebook has its place, but they don't do any of this stuff. So excited to share some of that stuff. Wait a minute. NNA is on the live. Thank you so much for coming through and hang out with us. I put the comments on the Elgato prompter during the live show. Yes, that's what I do. That's exactly what I do as well, Florence. So we're on the same page. NNA, thank you so much for being with us. That looks pretty awesome. Come on. All right. Might be a StreamYard problem I was having. 6 months and not been on, so I'm not up to speed with the updates. So a lot of people are rusty. A lot of people are asking StreamYard for the ability to pop out comments, for the ability to be able to take the comment section, pop it out into another window, because of that very thing. They want to be able to put their comments from StreamYard on their teleprompter so that they can see them, and they can select them to bring them up on screen, select them to put them down. What I just described is exactly how I'm using it inside Ecamm, and it has been wildly beneficial. So yes. How about the teleprompter software? Well, the one that we have been talking about, Margot, is both hardware and software. Now, if you're saying what software can I use, my question to you is, it all depends on the hardware. What hardware are you using? Then I can recommend some software. But the Elgato prompter that we've been recommending here is both hardware and software. I want to be clear on that, so that you kind of have an idea of what you're looking at when if you're deciding to get into it. And what I can do is go back into screen share mode here, and now you're seeing, let's go to this one. Why did that blank out? That's weird. All right, so this is a script that I did yesterday or Monday. I can't remember what day it was, but you can see several of the things here. You can see there's some bullet points. I definitely don't necessarily have to do any of the, you don't just have to use it to read your script. You can also use it as a means of just having your notes for what it is you want to talk about during your live show. So I wanted to showcase that because that's the software that goes with the hardware. So the software is the camera hub software from Elgato, and then it marries up, it pairs perfectly, in my opinion, with the hardware, which is the actual Elgato prompter. Let's see what else we got. That is a big group. Absolutely, that's a big group. Yes, indeed. I heard the Rodecaster Pro 2 may have this function. Oh, you mean the delay? Not the, see, so I was told, Doc Bishara, that it's not the Rodecaster Pro 2 itself, but there's like a Rode software that you can install that will give you kind of like a virtual mic, kind of like what Loopback does. I'm just trying to think of what is. I don't remember. I need to look into it. That's what that's what I said earlier. I need to look into it. I don't want to give you wrong information, but there is a software that does it that's Windows based. It's not Voicemeeter Banana does it as well, but there's another one. Voicemeeter Banana is a little clunky, but there's another one that is a lot more straightforward. It does the job well. We just gotta come up with it. I gotta find it, and we'll get back over there. We'll get back over there. So that's pretty dope. You are most welcome. Canva plus AI tools. 7 months is crazy. That is crazy. Everyone can join membership on this channel. Great value, and I speak from experience. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ted Darkclaw is with us. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. It's just started to rain cats and dogs here in Huntsville. I'm like shocked at the amount of sound that's coming from the window just beyond my camera. So if you hear that, that's because of what we got going on. Yes, Camera Hub 2 has just recently released, and it has been a game changer. Yeah, it has been a game changer. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see what else we got. Thank you for that comment, Florence. It's always good to be able to get some updates. Get some updates on the software that we're using. Always good to get some updates on the software that we're using. This is wild. My screens have shifted around a little bit, and let's see if I get back to where I was. Nope. Nope. All right, let's go back over here. Oh, there we go. There we go. I was trying to figure out what happened to my comment section. Let's rain the thumbs up. Come on, button on the stream. I love it. Paired with the pedal, it is gold. Let me go back to my comment scene because you're talking real good right now. How do you switch from one layout to another on StreamYard while being on record? You make it seamless. So this is a great question, and one that I get a lot. I get a lot from people who are trying to use scenes. What will you be teaching in the upcoming masterclass? I'll be teaching exactly this, but more so from a process-driven standpoint. So workflow standpoints. Yes, learn too. You're in good place. And then, in fact, that's a great place for me to highlight that we do have a class coming up. All right, so if you go to kirkrnugent.com, you will see this screen, and right on top you will also see take the class. I did want to kind of walk through a couple of these things, but I'm going to actually give you a very detailed answer to your question. Even ahead of the masterclass, I'm going to give you a very detailed answer to your question. So stick with us. Just give me a few minutes to kind of walk through a couple of different items. And I thank you for the reminder that I need to showcase and talk about the masterclass. All right. So, yes. I love to see everybody kind of hanging out and chiming in. If you click on it, it's going to take you to the masterclass page. And so here we're on the masterclass page and you have a little video there. And this video is actually longer than most of my promo videos. This is almost 2.5 minutes because I wanted to take time to really walk you through what you can expect from the class. You one take produce videos, will walk you through the strategy for how to set up your live show with an eye towards replay value and repurposing. So we're gonna walk through a number of those kinds of scenarios in this class. We're gonna touch on functions and features because we haven't done a class in a while, but we want to make sure that we also share some ways that you can leverage video naturally with this particular platform. I will say, for those of you who don't use StreamYard, there is crazy benefit even for those who are not utilizing this platform. There is benefit for those who are not utilizing this platform. So definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to check it out because you don't want to miss out on the masterclass. So I see David has put that comment in there as well. I want to go back to the homepage real quick, and I just want to kind of walk through one or two things. I get this question from a content perspective all the time. I get this question all the time. You know, I just want to book a session. What's the easiest way for me to do that? The easiest way for you to do that is just go to my page, KirkRNugent.com. You go to KirkRNugent.com, everything is there, right? Right here at the top, you have take the class, okay? Then if you scroll down a little, even right here, actually, if you see, you have take the class and you also have book me. So if you want to book a session, just a one-off session, even a half-hour session, you can click on book me and you'll come to the book me page, right? It literally says book me right here. And you can do a discovery call. Those are 15 minutes and they're meant for discovery. They're not meant for me to answer questions. It's not a consult session. It's for us to get to know one another, for us to discover one another. It's a discovery call. Then you also have some other of our services here on this page: video editing, graphic design, remote producer. If you're looking for a remote producer, we have all this stuff already kind of baked in for you. I will be honest that some of these will be going off of this page soon. I'm going to be putting this underneath the umbrella of composition, which is the business my wife and I run. I'm just going to be keeping this towards those who want to engage with me in terms of how it all works. These, in this second row, these are how it all works, Kirk related subscriptions that you want to take advantage of. I still maintain that. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you so much for that comment. And David did beat you to it, but I'm glad that you're here. The value is in how you teach workflows. The app is secondary to the learning. Talk about that, Equip Institute, man. The value is in how the workflows are done. It's the platform that I'm teaching on is secondary. I want to be clear on that. I'm going to do a class on Ecamm, but I'm going to be teaching workflows in Ecamm as well. And they're not going to be the same workflows that I'm going to teach in this coming masterclass where we will be using StreamYard. So I would recommend that you get into the class. That's such a great statement. Thank you so much for that, Florence. Okay, these that we have here in the middle, these three that we have in the middle here: graphic subscription, course content subscription, and resource subscription. Just read them through. They're fairly self-explanatory, but you can definitely utilize them in whatever way you see fit. I know Doc Bashar just got the Rodecaster Pro, I should say, in this resource subscription for $49 every quarter, right? It's a quarterly payment of $50. If you take this subscription, you can download everything I have available there: live show, sample run sheets, equipment list, ebook, YouTube template, all of the sound effects that I have put together over the couple of years I've been doing streaming. They're all here. There's a go live checklist, and we will add more every quarter. So you can actually purchase this subscription for $50, like a good friend of mine did. She just called me on Friday and was like, "Hey, I just purchased your subscription, but I'm going to cancel it before it charges me again because I think I got what I needed." I'm like, that's what it's all about. But if she wants to see what else is in there, and in a couple of months after she's canceled, she just purchased a subscription again. And so, yes, That's what it's meant for. Similarly, you have the course content subscription. And I want to make this even more practical than what I'm doing even right now. And I know Learn To, I'm gonna get to your comment, but I just want to make sure that I make this as practical as I possibly can for those who are watching today. So I'm actually going to, they have a new product here in Kajabi. That's killer. So we're gonna go to community, that's one. Let's go to products, and we'll go to masterclass. Yep, that one, that one, and that one. So I'm gonna do that there. Sorry, y'all. I just want to make sure I get a chance to showcase everything. Let's go to that. Go to there. Good so far. I see. What up, Nathan J? Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us. We truly appreciate you. And then this one. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, so all right, let's go back to the screen. That's comments. Here's the screen. All right, I'm gonna try and do this in less than 5 minutes. I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger so you can kind of see what it looks like. All right, so I want to showcase the thing that I'm what you're gonna get when you buy it. So this graphics subscription, $50 every 3 months. Let me see here. That's not it. Yes. So this is what it looks like. When you buy it, you come to this page. You have the Sunset graphics package, Vibranium package, red and black graphics package, blue and gold graphics package, lime graphics package, black and white, blue red skyline, high rise studio, blue newsroom. All of these graphics are here, and some of the newer ones actually have the eCam files that go along with it. So it's a double click and you have all of them already added. This is going to be super critical for those, because my designers are going to be adding more to this subscription every 3 months. Every 3 months we will dump in at least 4 more graphics packages, and every package is a zip file. So you download it, you have all the files that are there. We're talking about all of the, anyway, let me not go too far. Okay, so back to the page, right? So you have course content subscription, right? I'm going to close these as I go through them. So here is course content subscription. So this is $67 every 3 months. In that subscription, you get this page, right? So, man, where's my pro mouse? I can't see anything without the pro mouse. Come on, talk to me. So in that subscription with the course content subscription, in there, you have every course that I've ever created, and you have all of the master classes. So look, you have Home Studio Mastery, Find Your Content, Content Planning, Reflecting Forward, Live Selling, Sponsor Magnet, Launch Strategy. These are all the master classes that I've done. So if you click on it, you can see Home Studio Mastery is there. We go back to the dashboard. You have the legacy courses. There's a StreamYard online course. Boom, you can take that whole course. And if you purchase the masterclass, you will gain access to some of these resources. I'm just going to leave that there. That's not something that we're advertising. That's just something you guys get to hear because you are on today's live stream. All right. So that's just one, but you can go back to the dashboard. Here, I've got a little welcome message that I'm speaking directly to you, people who purchased the class. I'm letting you know that there's some other things that you can actually add. Incredible quality and volume of content. Absolutely. This is why we decided to combine and house everything in one area. Another thing that you can do is a resource subscription. Resource subscription is, this is a full equipment sheet. If you want to build out a studio, I have all the equipment that you would ever need right here in this sheet. This is my ebook. 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience. Here's a YouTube description template. You ever wanted to see like, man, what are people putting in their description? Here's a template right here. This sound bank right here, it's got, I think, something like 50 or 60 sound effects that you can download. Pre-show checklist, example run sheets, all of these things are here. And then lastly, we talked about the masterclass. When you purchase the masterclass, this is what it'll look like. This is what you'll come to. You'll come to this page, 2025 StreamYard class. You've got the date and everything right there. You'll have the insights, but you also have the agenda. We have the agenda here. You have a welcome video from me. You have a notes section where you'll see some of my notes, just kind of describing what the platform is about, but you also have your own area to be able to take your notes. And then lastly, you have resources. And in the video welcome, I say, hey, go and check out some of these resources. Crash course, StreamYard scenes, 2022 free StreamYard course on YouTube. So you have some things here that you can be able to utilize if you are interested. This is a view of the Workers Warehouse. This is where my members and I was laughing at Florence's comment the other day saying she likes the warehouse in light mode, not dark mode. But even though I am a fan of dark mode as well, especially showing it on screen, I think showing it in light mode is better. But this is the Workers Warehouse as well. I just want to kind of go through some of those things. Now, with that said, learn to, I hope that you're still with us, is a blessing in staying around on the live. So here I'm on StreamYard and I'm going to go into my studio. I'm going to go into my studio. I am doing a masterclass, Nathan J. I'll be doing a masterclass on Ecamm, using Ecamm Live as the platform next month. So in the month of June. So May, we're going to be doing a StreamYard. June, we're going to be doing Ecamm. Now, in both of these classes, I'm going to be teaching workflows, and those workflows may or may not be the same. So keep that in mind. Even though you may not be using StreamYard, there may be some workflows that you can utilize from either one of these masterclasses. So keep that in mind as well. All right, Learn2 says that they're still here. Excited to have you here. Okay. One of the things that I see people do all the time, and so this is the layout for the last video that I did on my channel, just teaching workflows, right? So first thing you want to do is make sure you go through every one of your scenes and ensure that all the assets are there for the scene. What do I mean by that? Okay, let me click on this one. Do you notice that there's no camera in this scene? I need to add my camera. I got to add my camera. I got to add my camera. I got to add a camera to the scene so that I can actually utilize it. So I'm going to put, not that one. Let's get this one here. Okay, good. All right. So you got to add a camera. So that's the camera. Let's go to the actual camera itself. And I'm going to change the preset to 6, recall. Maybe it's 2. Yeah. What up? So that camera is a PTZ camera that's right above me. I use that for my top-down shot. So now I'm in the shot. But before, notice when I went to this scene before, I couldn't actually click on the file. Like there was nothing there. So the cheat code Learn2 is go to each one of your scenes before you go live or before you hit record and make sure everything you want to have there is there. Do you notice right now that you see me down here, but you don't see anybody else up here, or you don't see anything up here? So this is supposed to be a presentation. So I'm going to go back here, extra camera. I don't know what happened to it. Let's go back to here. Let's go to the webcam. Let's share that in. So we have the webcam in. Let's bring in a PDF. Let's go to presentation. Let's go to studio setup. All right. So now when I bring my studio setup one up here, now my presentation is here. So the presentation is here. You can still see me. What up? I can flip between the scenes without having to click on a bunch of things because I've already set it up to have them ahead of time. I go to this one. That's not right. Why is that not right? Because I don't have both cameras. You see, only one camera is added to the stage. So I add both cameras. Now it looks right. Now watch what happens when I go back to the host only, right? Host only, just me by myself. Host plus guest is there. That's how it becomes seamless, because you go to each one of your scenes and ensure that everything you need for that scene is already there. That's what makes it simpler. This scene is one that just needed two cameras. This scene also needs two cameras. This scene has one camera plus the presentation. This scene has just one camera, the host's camera, and it drops the other camera from the scene. But if you don't go beforehand and add this other camera into this particular scene, when you click on it, it won't be ready. You just have to go in and ensure that it's ready. And then this last scene, it's just the host plus the graphic overlay. Everything's already ready to go. So that's how I'm able to make it seamless. Boom, myself. I'm here by myself. There's a flyer. I can go to media assets, run the video. Video is rolling. I don't need to wait for that video to finish. I can just come down here and click on the next scene. Boom. Boom, now I'm in the next scene. Boom, now I'm making my presentation. Make the sound investment. Make the sound investment. Okay, let me look at the camera. Let there be light. Understand composition. Scan the QR code and allow me to coach you. All right. So those are the things. To come back over here. Hey, we're so excited to have such and such guests with us today. How are you today? Super excited to have you here with us. Guest is making a point. You want the guest to be bigger. Boom, we make the guest bigger. Then there might be a time in the video where you're like, yo, my guest is on fire right now, y'all. Y'all need to make sure you lock in, hit that like button, make sure you grab their links from the description. Are you taking notes? I hope you're taking notes. All right, my guest, go back to answering your question. You see what I'm talking about? It becomes smooth. It becomes smooth because you've already done you've gone through all your scenes. You've made sure everything is there. All the assets are on the bottom, right? You have your two cameras, you have your presentation, whatever assets you need that you have designed, the way that you've designed it, you need to make sure they're all there. All right, I'm looking up here, but you're still looking, you can look at me in both places, but you need to make sure they're all there so that you can actually have that be smooth inside the platform. So for those of you who are seeing this, I want to be clear, there's nothing I've done here that you can't do in Ecamm or in EVMux. And so when I'm planning this class, StreamYard 2025 StreamYard class, you may want to join, because there are going to be workflows that I teach in this class that I will not be teaching in the next class, which will be Ecamm. There'll be workflows I teach in the Ecamm class that I will not be teaching in the EVMux class, which will be in August. So all three of these are a part of a series, because what I'm trying to share with people is it isn't about necessarily the platform. It's about a workflow that will help you to leverage video naturally and get to done sooner. Okay, I hope that answers your questions, but I thank you for the opportunity to kind of go in depth on some of that information. You guys are the best. I'm way over my time, so it's always interesting to just kind of showcase and highlight some of the things that we got going on. Let's go back to comments. Let's go back to comments and see if I'm missing anything. So it looks like you guys were really asking some questions. Here's one from Tracy. She said, I maintained that 1 hour session I had was amazing. I need to get Tracy, David, Florence, all of you guys. I need to get you guys lined up to do some testimonials that I can put on my coaching page, because I think that is your feedback is way better than my feedback. Nathan J says, what up, Kirk? Thanks for all that you do for us content creators. Thank you so much, Nathan, as well. My team and I got a chance to respond today. Apologies for the delay in getting back to you, but I hope that you got a chance to see that. Look it over. Let us know if you have any questions. We're excited at the opportunity and maybe even just the possibility of working with you. Thumbs up is done. Thank you, David Hunt, for the thumbs up. I love seeing you guys chat back and forth in the comment section. Can you change the colors? So you can't change the colors of the designs. That's why the designs are named the way that they are. Most of them have a specific feel, look, color scheme to them, but you have access to all of them when you buy the subscription. The reason why I did not make it available to change the colors is because that's an added level of complexity that most people don't want to have to think about. Just choose the design for the look and feel and color palette that you want to go for. If you want the black white, you have the black white. If you have, you know, newsroom, you have a newsroom style. It's got a bluish thing to it. So yes, we could have made it that way, but then we would have to show a tutorial for people to be able to use it. The way that it's set up right now, the graphic subscription, you download that file, you can drop it into any one of these platforms and use it within 5 minutes. That's us helping you to leverage video naturally. And if you want to throw a logo on top, you can drop that thing in Canva, put a logo on it in 2 seconds and be done with that. But mainly a lot of people who have purchased these things in the past, because I want to be clear, this is not new. A lot of the stuff that's in there is not new. There's 4 packages that are new, but the rest of the stuff they were available for purchase in the past, and many people just purchase them and they use them as is. So that's pretty dope as well. It's pretty dope as well. Incredible quality and volume of content. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is, we're really trying to make it an irresistible offer. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. We're not trying to sell individual things anymore. Just here's the subscription. If you only want it for 3 months, you keep it for 3 months and cancel. That's totally up to you. 3 different subscription plans, 1 for courses, 1 for resources, 1 for graphics. It's totally up to you. And then of course, if you purchase coaching, then you get access to the warehouse, and the warehouse has access to everything. Did I mention that again? Workers, warehouse members like Tracy and Florence and David, they have access to everything. Okay, Nathan says, do you have a masterclass on Ecamm? I think I answered this one. It's coming up in the month of June, but I definitely want to make sure you guys understand the relevance of being able to go and get the workflows that I will be sharing in each of these 3 classes that are coming up. StreamYard being the first one in May, Ecamm being the second one in June, EVMux being the 3rd one in August. We're taking the month of July off, the whole month, y'all. Listen, the whole month of July, we're taking it off. The whole month of July, I will not be available. So just keep that in mind. Add that to your plans. We all get so much value from the warehouse. Thank you so much. Learn2 says they're still here. Let me keep going. Okay, great. I'm switching to Ecamm, so I want to know everything. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, again, it's going to be very helpful especially if you're switching over to Ecamm. It's going to be helpful to see how we do some of the some similar processes in StreamYard in Ecamm. So in May, you'll see it in StreamYard. In June, you'll see it in Ecamm, and having that repetition is going to really deepen your ability to leverage what we're using here. So thank you for that. I will be joining the masterclass most definitely, and do a discovery call too very soon. Oh, looking forward to that. Learn2. Absolutely looking forward to that. I had a discovery call with Nathan J just the other day, and we had a great time. Does this do the same thing on Ecamm? We can do exactly those same things on Ecamm. But on Ecamm, you don't have to make sure everything is there like I was showing for StreamYard. It's just there. On Ecamm, you don't have to go through and make sure all the assets are there. No, it's just there. If I upload a PDF to a particular scene and put myself in a round circle, every time I go back to that scene, it's there. So way easier on Ecamm. So the answer to your question is yes, and it's easier. Okay, makes sense. Play around with the scenes and assets. Yes, sir. That's the trick. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Thank you so much for being with us today, Learn2. I'm looking forward to having a discovery call with you. I'm looking at my time. I've got to go in about 4 minutes. So Russ says he hasn't seen that before. Listen, StreamYard's got a couple of new tricks up their sleeve, so I wanted to showcase a couple of things. So you still got to get familiar with the scenes with added assets. Yes. Yes, I'm so glad to see these comments from Learn To. I'm glad that you stayed around. I know that sometimes I just want to get through my thought but I knew I was going to come and give you something that was really going to be helpful. Maybe you need to bookmark that portion of today's video so you can go back to it. And I'm going to actually do another video on scenes in StreamYard, because this is a question that I get all the time, and clearly I have not explained it as well as I should have. So today's video where I explain that well, I'm going to be able to duplicate that in another video and allow people to really sink their teeth in. So excited about that. Thank you, Nathan J. Thank you, Tracy. The only reason I asked is because I want it brand specific. I understood. And so the thing that, so here's a, let me go back to this page here. Let's go back to the screen here real quick, Nathan J. Right underneath these 3 subscription plans, you have a branded graphics package. In this branded package, it's $12.50, but we will create what you see in these other packages. We will create it specifically for you, but we also create video, a video intro and a video outro. We create bumper videos. So there's three types of videos that are included in that branded graphics package. We also create scenes, essentially. Scenes for 1 person, scenes for 2 people, scenes for up to 6 people. You can see that it says right there, 1 to 6 person scenes, backgrounds, lower thirds, bumper, intro, outro videos, all branded with your logo and colors. Also includes 1 hour of training or 1 hour of production. So this branded graphics package, actually, this is probably our hottest selling thing, especially for organizations, brands like you, who are just like, I want my stuff set up the way I want it. So this is custom, whereas the subscription is going to be, more generic. So thank you for the question, because it allowed me to showcase that this is here as well. So go to that Book Me page and just kind of read through some of the descriptions, and we can get started on something for you. We usually, once we get all the assets in, your logo, your colors, video clips, different things that we can utilize for the different videos that we'll be creating, we can deliver those things in 7 to 10 business days. So definitely be thinking about that. And I thank you for the question. I thank you for the comment, because it allowed me to showcase one other thing that I forgot to mention. I'll be reaching out. I need your help. Come on, Canva plus AI tools. I love it. Margot, you're in the house. Nathan, just upload to Canva, hit edit. No. I get it. Everybody has their way of doing it. Ecamm rocks. I love it. Geraldine is with us today. Always good. Ecamm sounds like a blessing. It sure is. Always grieving value. Appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, Geraldine. It's always good to have you. Russ says, good to see you all again. Cheers, Kirk. Good luck. Tracy, thanks, Russ. Oh, one last question. In the 60 seconds we have left, would you know a sale coming up for Ecamm? I don't, and I'm going to be honest with you, Marina. I am one of those people who have constantly told Ecamm it's just too cheap. Do you know that Ecamm is cheaper than StreamYard? And it, in my opinion, it is a far more superior platform than StreamYard. It is far superior. So I don't know of a sale, but what I can tell you is if you use my link, kirkarnugent.live/ecamm, you can get an extended free trial, and you can go to the month-to-month plan, because I think that's going to be absolutely worth it for you. Yeah. StreamYard does not make it easy to see the pricing. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Otang. Listen, guys, I'm going to get out of your way. I want to say this as we get ready to go. You guys answered the call. I threw down the gauntlet at the beginning of today's video. I said to you, what's holding you back? Why aren't you asking questions? Ask your questions. Let's get those questions answered so that you can get on to the next thing. And for some of you, it's going to be, if there's something that we shared today that hopefully gets you across the line. We talked about the Rodecaster Pro. We talked about EVMux, talked about some of the things in StreamYard, some of the things in Ecamm. We talked about strategy for live shows and different things like that. But for some of you, it's going to be getting into a session with me. Or maybe if it's not me, maybe there's some other creator that you followed for years. Figure out how to get on their calendar, get a discovery call lined up. Pay for a coaching session, half hour or full hour. I don't know what they have. I know what I have. maybe it's time for you to take your graphics to the next level. You need a resource subscription. You want to know what to put in the description on your. Let's get unstuck. The reason why I don't share these offers for me to make money. I share these offers because I recognize these are the ways that people have been asking me to serve. Yes. Hey, I just need, a refresher for my graphics every couple of months. A graphics subscription. Man, if I could just have access to the courses and, be able to take them at my own pace, I'm not even sure which one I need. One person commented underneath content creation for ministry who is not in ministry at all and was like, this is exactly what I needed to see. You just never know. This is why we're talking about the masterclass for StreamYard. You don't have StreamYard. You don't want to know StreamYard. That's okay. This is a cheat code for you to be able to see what the other half is doing without actually buying the platform. And if you can retrofit the strategies and workflows that I'm going to showcase in this masterclass into the platform that you're using, that could be a game changer too. Let's not sit on the sidelines. Let's get involved. Let's get involved. And I really just don't know what to put in the description on my YouTube video. Okay, here's a resource subscription that has templates, but also I use a platform called Taja.ai that does my description. KirkRNugent.live/Taja. Where can you find that, Kirk? Where can you find that? You might ask. We're back on the screen again. You know where you can find that? Right here on the same page, this same Book Me page. If you scroll down, you'll see it says Got Links, all my resources in one place. If you click there, all of my resource links are here. I'm not even going to stay on the page for long. I'm saying the reason why things have been formatted the way they're formatted is because these are the ways people have said to me, we would like you to serve us. This is for you. I want to help you get unstuck. I want to help you figure out what your next step is. I want to help you leverage video naturally. I want to help you get to done sooner. The purpose for which you approached content, I would imagine, if you're like me, isn't necessarily to be an expert in content. You just want to know how, like, each of us are drivers. We have to drive. Some of us are just doing Uber, but the fact that you have a driver's license doesn't necessarily mean that this is what I want to do with my life. I do this because it's a means to an end. Content is the same. Let's learn how to leverage it. That's all I'm saying. Let's learn how to leverage it. Jump in the masterclass, book a discovery call, schedule a coaching session, join the Workers Warehouse community, get one of the subscriptions. Let's get you to the next step. I believe that you have a exquisite purpose to fulfill. There are people waiting for the content that you will provide, and it is our job to get all of the hurdles out of the way so you can get back to doing exactly what you've been called to do. And with that, I want to close with a word of prayer. Thank you, God, for those that have been rocking with me for the entire hour and change. Bless each and every one of them. Allow them your spirit. Allow them your blessings. I pray in your precious name. Amen. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. Yo, turn your knowledge into income. Turn your knowledge into impact with the power of video. That, my friends, is how it all works. Don't complicate content. Leverage video naturally. And we'll see you in the next one.